Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another diagnostic video. This is an interesting one. This microphone, well, whatever. 2005 Mercedes E320. Customer complaint is chicken your light is on. I have already the Drive Pro connected, and I will show you what I found. Actually, I think I have the printout here, easier. So we have, as you can see, angle variation of camshaft to crankshaft, and then ac- active activated charcoal canister shutoff valve. So that sounds like a circuit issue. The generic code will mislead you because it's this P0446, which is a leak, a small leak. But if you go with a P2025, that talks more about the circuit on what this card is, right? All right, so one thing that I like to do is I already have the wheel off because the shut-off valve is and the canister itself is behind this is behind here. So as you can see, that's the valve. We will replace it with a new one. All right, so that's where the valve is. So I'm going to do an actuation of the fuel tank leak test on this car with the Drive Pro. So the ignition is on. Before you turn the car on, because the test has to be done with the engine running, you need to make sure it's not warm. It's some um, things that you need to provide before you can do it. All this turn the ignition on and off, you can just disregard and just do it. But temperature wise, it's important. Intake has to be less than 42 and coolant temperature below 80. Fuel tank level 30 to 90%. So we fulfill all those. So continue. Now this is going to bring us to a next. Before we start the actual test, we need to start the car and we're going to activate the test. So right now it's active. The computer will look for the vacuum to drop in the tank. The first thing I wanted to check, I got my fluke connected to the, oh, like it's horrible. All right, that's the signal from the, let me change the timing a little bit. All right, that's the signal from the purge valve. Let me show it to you where it's located. So it's right here under the coolant reservoir, and I have it just barely connected because I don't care about faults. I want to make sure. Hopefully you guys can hear the tock, 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 tock. That's the valve. And look at my finger is being pulled. So hopefully that shows up well on the camera. How my finger is actually being sucked. So that means this is working. So I can plug this back as it should. Now my next test is, just want to make sure I don't touch those leads together. All right, let me take that other one. And let me set the scope on the shut-off valve and see what we see. All right, I have to go out and come back on the scanner. All right, so we go to actuation and then fuel tank leak tests. Again, disregard all those turn on and turn off, not necessary, at least with the Drive Pro. All right, 77, just barely making it. Ooh, air intake is just on the limit. All right, so we're gonna start it. I got the scope connected on the shut-off valve. Gonna put the scanner on the door so we can see that. So 1 second, guys. I need to make sure it's not gonna fall. Sorry for that. All right, so let's Now activate that. And let's take a look of this. And we got absolutely zero. And I know that my leads are well connected. So we need to check harness because I know the valve in the shore harness they send it's kind of like an updated version of this shut-off valve is is new. I mean, doesn't mean it's good, but we know as a fact here that we got no activations because this has nothing to do with the valve. We should have some sort of a I mean, up and down voltage, right? I can reduce the voltage to limits 2 volts. I think that should be probably around the same look as the purge valve. But this one will be just on, off. So it's at least when it's doing the pressure test, which is exactly what it's doing. And one thing you can do just with the scanner, as you can see, is this pressure is not changing, which is the tach pressure. Right now, the purge valve is being activated to do this, and it's not working. All right, so let me stop here, get a wire diagram, and we're probably gonna have to go even in the trunk or someplace else, but I will take you guys with me too. All right, guys, I got the wire diagrams. It's just a cool wire diagrams from Identifix, and I checked it out, and they do match what we have there. So as you can see, we have a red green that I have highlighted, and then the green brown. The red green comes from a power feed or fed that comes from circuit 87 relay, as you can see right there, and it feeds O2 sensors and some other things. And then obviously, well, which I haven't checked, but I know that will come pin 18. It's gotta be coming from the DME or engine computer. So pin 18. Trying to do this while watching the screen on the camera. It's definitely not working. All right, so let me just bear with me a little. So I'm doing this with you guys. So yeah, so it's pin 37 on the engine computer, and that is the control side. So yeah, left rear of engine compartment. So what I have right now, the ignition is on. So I rig a test light, going to battery negative, and thank you so much to bring the car with your trunk full of stuff. But well, so I got it, and I test my test light is working. And as you can see right now, I'm reading 12.2 volts. It's a steady, hot all the time power feed. And so what I did is I got one lead on the red and green or green and red wire, and then the other one on the test light just to supply the ground that I'm not getting. If I connect this to the, let me make sure I'm doing this right. Um, 1 second. I gotta think. Yeah. As you can see, I am getting the power through the shut-off valve. So the coil is good. What I'm not getting is activation. And again, we're getting right now as I do that, that's a voltage drop. So, so we have everything except control. I would like now to check just a wire from DME to here. So I'm going to disconnect the test light, and then we got zero because there's no activation. Sorry, you guys cannot see that from far away. So it goes to point 0.007. Again, the ignition is on. I'm not sure if we have codes on that. I'm gonna have to turn the scanner all the way out and come back because I don't know why it does this. It's a little annoying, but sorry. All right, guys, took my time to find the information for you to see. All right, so we already saw the wire diagrams that I pull out, and we knew, or we know now, the green and brown wire in connector C7, pin 37 is our activation for the shutoff valve on the canister. Now, in order to find that which connector is that, we know that the computer is on the engine compartment, left side, which is the driver's side. So what I did is, knowing Mercedes, the number usually for the computer is M3/10. So that's what I put on the search. And now these are my bookmarks, which I use very handy from Identifix. So you can just check your bookmarks, select what you need to see, and then you don't have to like thinking, oh, I don't have the wire diagrams or so. I have everything here on one page that I can just go back and forth for me to check. All right, so we know there is connector 4, and then as far as this view of the DME, it's telling me that we have obviously 5 connectors. 2 of them on each side had 9 pins. Then the middle one, it has 52 pins. And then in order to difference connector 2 to 4, one has only 24, the other one has 40. So it's pretty easy. So what I end up doing, uh, okay, I pull all the connectors to see which one is which. And also because I want to do an open circuit test and a load test onto that wire, which yes, I purse, and I will put liquid tape on those, no matter what. This is cover, so that is not an issue. Well, Mercedes always have water in here. Hopefully that's not the case. So what I have right now rig in here is on that green and brown wire, I connected a test light to ground. Then on the other end, I'm going to use fuse wire or fuse link. I don't know how you will call that. It's one of my test leads that I use. And then again, we know which one is which in order to test. So I had everything ready. So I just need to connect these 2 wires. Sorry for the shaking or moving, but I need to. So 1 second off camera. So all I'm doing is connecting these 2 together. Now let's go and take a look at the test light. Because like this, we will check all the way from there to here. So as you can see, the light is on. And that is actually even worse for customer. Because we got power, we don't have activation, and we have that code. So it looks like we have a bad driver. So again, you saw the light, no ignition. We don't need the ignition for this. So again, I'm just going to unplug this in here. And now the light should be off, which I know it is. And yes, the light is off. So I'm gonna need to check this computer more. I'm going to double check now the codes, make sure I don't have codes, and rerun the test one last time and see what it is. So see what we find. All right, guys, I went ahead and erased the codes. We got like 90 seconds of the test. So you can read what it says in there that will close the charcoal canister and then activate the purge valve to, create vacuum. And it's not happening. We know that we have vacuum. We know that we have um, purge control. We don't have the shut off valve working. There's like nothing in here. I just came back over here. I got the scope connected and nothing is going on. I got it into 20 milliseconds, which I mean, really, it doesn't matter. I can change timing in here. So that's moving. Can do 100 milliseconds or, this, like I said, most likely will be on and off. So we should be just reading battery voltage in here, but that's not the case. It's zero. We got no activation. Because if the control will be here, we will be able to read the battery voltage. It's not the case. So still running for 100 seconds. And I know I failed, so test aborted. The specified value for vacuum was not reached. So it's not working obviously because the valve is open. And there is another way that I can show you that the actual valve is the problem. So let me turn the car back off and I'll be right back. All right, so I have to go back again for like the 10th time. Every time you turn the ignition off, it loses the communication. It's an old car, so nothing to do with the scanner. So what I'm trying to do right now is I put a plug, cap onto the shut-off valve port, for the atmosphere, and then I'm going to start the test. So let's start the car, and now let's watch the vacuum build. If I am correct, hopefully, yep, yep. Now you can see the value is changing. See? So right now it's working as it should because the purge valve is perfect. So what I did, let me show you, is we don't have any electric way to do it. So all I did is, again, put a plastic plug in there to recreate active valve in there. And then, as you can see, the values are going as it should. Most likely going to fail for not opening, but we know that the case is we have no activation. So, yeah, sometimes customers don't want to pay diagnosis. Yeah, how will you check this system without all this? Good luck with that. Yeah, good luck, Autosun. Burst valve, solenoid. Yeah, right. All right, guys. I think that I don't need to do any further testing because everything else on that computer is working. It's just this valve is not being able to work. I raised codes, so it's not just for a second or nothing. It's just not working. So that is a bad driver. So that's it. All right, guys. See you next time. Hopefully you like this video and you find it instructive. This is for all my fellow technicians that work in as I do in many different brands, and sometimes we need a little bit of a guide, a little bit of a light to see how we test a system on these cars. All right. See you next time. Bye bye.